Hello, and today I am talking with Angel Richards from Help Others Transform. Hi, Angel.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So, thank you for joining me and just wanting to share your story about transformation and decluttering with the Free From Perfect community. So, just let everyone know a little bit about you and kind of pretty much your journey and your story, and we'll
Okay.
take it from there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. And
Mhm.
I want to start off by saying I am far from perfect. I
We
just
all
love what
are.
you're doing because
Yeah.
it's like perfection is just not a word in my vocabulary. I'm Angel Richards, the creator of Helping Others Transform and the ringleader of the Clutter Free Movement. And pretty much what I do is I help women declutter their lives so they can have more confidence and happiness, love, and success in all areas of their life. And so that kind of started from me going through a major struggle in my life. Being a single mom, dealing with abusive relationships, low self esteem, and financial issues, weight issues. And so I had all these different challenges, all this clutter going on in my own life.
Mhm.
And I had gotten to a point where I just really wanted to quit, give up on everything. But, being a mother of four, that wasn't really an option. And so I had to kind of get myself together and get my mind right. And I went through this journey of just kind of decluttering my life, just one area at a time, just getting rid of things and overcoming and breaking through. And so once I was able to get to a place where I felt like I could breathe again, my head was above the water, I instantly had this urge to want to share my journey and my message with other moms. And it started out with just single moms. And
Mhm.
then I just kind of expanded to women because I realized that we all go through many of the same struggles and challenges. And
Certainly.
so ever since 2010, I've been sharing that journey and on a mission to just really help every woman that I can come into contact with to live a clutter free life. And that doesn't mean there's no clutter, no chaos, no confusion, but it just means that when those things do surface, that you know how to handle it, you know how to break through it, and you know how to keep it moving.
That's good.
So that's kind of who I am and what I do.
Where it started. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's just hone in a little bit more on the transformation. Like, what was like if you don't like without you deciding how much you want to share, but getting into some more about the transformation and like what did that transformation look like for you?
Whew. I mean, I'm very open and
Yeah,
honest and
yeah.
transparent.
Mhm.
That transformation for me, it looked like me, getting off my behind, losing the weight because that was a big source of my insecurity.
Mhm.
It looked like me just being a better spender, saving money, spending wisely. I used to loan out money a lot. That was having that hard time saying no, being a people pleaser. So it looked like me disappointing a lot of people and really upsetting a lot of people and being very uncomfortable. My journey was extremely uncomfortable because I was doing everything opposite of what had gotten me to that place. And
Mhm.
over, time, I just kind of build up this strength and this confidence of, hey, I'm going to say no when it's no. I'll say yeah when I feel like it.
Yeah.
And, whoever doesn't like it, too bad. And I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I think I was trying to be a little perfect. I
Yeah.
think there was a piece of me that was that perfectionist and
Yeah.
just wanting to look good all the time.
Yeah.
And not so much physically looking good, but looking good to people.
Yeah.
And so the journey became me not looking good and not being liked by everybody, really letting go of a lot of people, a
Yeah.
lot of people.
Yeah, I
um,
definitely, yeah, I
yeah,
definitely, without interjecting there, I think that was really important that you mentioned, being able to say no more often and saying yes to yourself because I think a
yeah,
lot of times we kind of neglect ourselves and we just want to people please and we just get into this cycle essentially of pleasing other people and neglecting ourselves. And I think that's really important. And like,
absolutely.
and how did that shape you, in the sense of like being a better mom, being a better
Oh my
friend?
God.
Like, how did that shape you in that sphere?
Yeah, what I realized is the cluttered angel, the one dealing with the chaos and the confusion and all that stuff, that wasn't really me. That
Mm,
was not who I really am. That's just kind of where I was in my life.
mhm,
So this is who I am. This is the authentic me. This is the real me.
mhm,
And so when I started to show up as myself, it made a lot of people uncomfortable. It naturally just kind of created a distance between other people. But what it did for my home, for my family, for my relationships with my children, it was just amazing. They got to see their mom for who she really was. I wasn't broken and depressed and frustrated and snapping. I was more loving and nurturing and caring and understanding and building just amazing relationships. Like just before this interview, I was talking to my son. We were going over some interview skills. He has an interview for a job tomorrow. He's 18.
Aww.
And I was talking to him, and it amazed me because I asked him, I said, you know, they're going to ask you, what's your strength? And he said, you know, my strength is like helping people and giving advice and, you know, leading people in the right direction, solving problems. I was like, boy, I'm going to hire you. Come work for me. But what I realized is that's a seed that I planted a long time ago, because that's who I am. That's how I am. I'm always looking to help and serve and give back and solve problems. And so I see that they've been watching.
Yes.
And so that seed's been planted. So I know back when I was going through all my chaos and confusion, I mean, I didn't have a lot of time for them. I didn't have patience, not a lot of conversation, afraid to speak to me about different things. And so the bond and the relationship I have with my children, even my family members, you know, I had a lot of resentment towards my mom and my dad because of things that had happened to me in the past. And so I had to forgive and let go of that. And now we have amazing relationships. I mean, we're like this. We talk all the time, see each other every day. I'm like, all right, I saw you yesterday. So it's amazing what happens when you start to transform your life and you start to declutter and let go of all the things that are keeping you back, but also keeping you from the blessings of just the people around you.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
really, yeah, that's really, really, really powerful. So like, you know, I know that like you said that your following is largely at the beginning was single mothers, and now it's just kind of, you know, opened up more to women. And I've been, you know, stalking you, so to speak, on your website and like listening to your audios and stuff like that. And yeah, and you know, so what advice would you give a single mother that really wants to strike out on her own? She's, you know, she's miserable in her career, you know, her relationships are broken. She has a broken relationship with herself. Like, what advice would you give her?
To seek clarity. So a few things. Number one is to seek clarity. Before she can, you know, start to repair herself or the relationships that she, you know, gets into with other men, the job, you know, figuring out what she wants to do for a living and what are her gifts and her talents. She's got to get clarity on all those things. You know, who is she really at the core? Remember, I wasn't being my authentic self. I was being my situation. So, you know, understanding who she really is and what she really, really wants out of life. When I talk to my clients, when I ask them that question, I say, when you answer the question, what do you really want? Don't answer from the place of where you are. Because right now you just want all this crap to be over with. You know, you just want to get out of the situation you're in or the relationship, but that's not what you really, really want. And so really understanding who you are, what it is you really want. So seeking that clarity, really understanding why are you in this situation? You know, why do you have these habits and continue even though you know they're not helping? Why are you accepting certain things, tolerating certain things? So really getting clear, it's the ugly part of it all. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's the first step. And then after seeking clarity, confidence is everything. I had zip for so many years, and it's no wonder I made poor choices. It's no wonder I was a 2-time teen mom twice, as if I didn't learn the first time when I was 15 years old having a baby. I did it again at 19. Why? Because I had extremely low self-esteem, you know, abusive relationships, all those things come from low self-esteem. So really understanding who she is going to increase her confidence. You know, believing in herself, knowing that she can be whatever she wants to be and do what she wants to do and really have the best and have God's best for her. It's all available to all of us. We just have to seek it. So increasing her confidence. And then the third thing is really having the courage to make the necessary changes, to be uncomfortable, to say what's on your mind, to, you know, honor your feelings, to disappoint people, but to do what's best for you. So clarity, confidence, and courage. I mean, for me, that's the foundation of it all. If you really want to, you know, change any area of your life, it doesn't matter what it is. Without those three things in place, it's just like that cycle just continues over and over and over again. And you got to break the cycle. Nobody's going to break it for us. You know, I had to do it for myself, and she'll have to do it for herself too.
Yeah, I think that the point that you made about being uncomfortable, like a lot of us don't like being uncomfortable. Like,
no, we don't.
And like it doesn't feel good, but I find that when you're actually uncomfortable and you're going through a really tough time, and you just, you know, find a way to find clarity, like you said before, and courage. and just keep moving forward, because essentially that's the
Absolutely.
only way things are going to change. Because if you sit there in your slum and just be,
Hmm.
negative and be miserable and just torture yourself, you're not going to make any
Absolutely.
progress, right?
Not at all. I
Yeah.
mean, it's this. We're like comfortably uncomfortable.
Yeah.
People get so comfortable being uncomfortable, and it becomes your norm
Yeah.
until you see someone else doing something or having something that you want, and that's where jealous and envy come in. But it's no reason to be jealous or envious. God is not a respecter of persons. What He does for one, He'll do for you. I mean, it's just a matter of making that decision that you want it and that you deserve it.
Definitely. And I wanted to take a step back. So, what was your career path like? What was your career before being this awesome, like, motivational powerhouse?
Thank you.
Oh.
It's funny because I didn't even like women, to be honest. Like I had went through so much as a young girl and being molested and being raped. I had a major hate for men, but because I didn't feel like I was protected and I didn't feel like people showed up in my life to help me heal and go through it, I had this resentment towards women. So I laugh when I do this today and the passion that I have for women, because I used to not trust women. I didn't care. I didn't, I was just no compassion. And so that's kind of, one of the things that's ironic about what I do. But backing up, actually, I was in high school preparing to be a nurse. My father wanted me to be a doctor. I didn't want to go to school all those years. And so I was trying to meet him halfway. I was like, well, I'll be a nurse. And so in high school, I took nursing classes. I was in a program and got great grades. So I love learning. What I realized is I love learning. And I went to college. First year, all these nursing classes and stuff, flunked out of anatomy twice. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. If I can't get this body down, this might not be my thing. But I loved my high school teacher that taught the nursing program. And then when I got into college, my professor, I fell in love with one of my professors, and she used to be a teacher. And so I kind of talked to her a lot, and I realized that I love teaching. And so again, disappointing everybody. I wasn't going to be the doctor or the nurse anymore. Dr. Richards is what, my dad used to call me, just, trying to plant that seed. And I went into the education program and went all the way through, got my master's degree, and I've been teaching for over 10 years, 11, 12 years now, and I absolutely love it.
Okay.
It's who I am. I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
So it just fit right into my business, where I do a lot of one-on-one coaching with clients, but I also teach a lot of master classes. And because it's just tying in my gifts and my talents and what I love, and I'm passionate about teaching. So I was going to be a nurse, but here I am as an educator and as a coach and a mentor.
Yeah, I think too sometimes like God has a way of kind of channeling you through different, different paths for you to, grab these talents and bring them along with you to like where where you are now and where you're actually really thriving. Because like even my story, like I went to university and I have a degree in political science because I wanted to get in politics and that kind of stuff. And then I started dabbling in it for a little bit, and I realized it wasn't really my cup of tea. So I was like, okay, I'm going to shift. I went into corporate. That didn't really work too much for me. I wasn't. I'm just not the person who's just wants to be regimented in that way. Yeah. And then I got into nonprofit, and then I was like, okay, this is all right, but it wasn't fueling me. So then I just left that and decided I wanted to start something and help women and be just being supportive for other women, because I think a lot of times like going back to what you said before is like you didn't really like women because the different things, and because sometimes women can be catty. Like let's just like let's just
I don't like all of them now. I'm just saying.
But I think it's really important that we as women support each other and be and build each other up, and I think that's really, really important. But
absolutely, I agree. It's really important, and I believe that that's when you've reached a level of maturity and confidence, is when you can support other women, when you can really give a genuine compliment, when you can take a genuine compliment from another beautiful woman that's successful and doing great things. So it's definitely important.
Yeah, definitely. And another question, I guess, to like wrap this up too, is like, what would you say is like the right time to like declutter?
Right now, when they hang up, or when we hang up this call, when they press, stop and they are done listening to this interview, that is the time. There's never going to be a perfect time. let me tell you, life will happen. And matter of fact, the way the enemy works is as soon as you make a decision that you're getting ready to do something to make your life better, that is where the challenges and the obstacles are going to surface. So right now is the time. I'm not a big believer in waiting for Mondays
No.
or waiting till the first of the month. I'm actually getting ready to teach a new class, and because we're right in the middle of the year, it's called June is the New January, because I just believe that sometimes this is the perfect time for a fresh start, and your fresh start could be any month of the year, any day of the week, any moment of the day. It's just making that non-negotiable decision that, hey, what's going on right now is not working for me. I have to do something different, and I have to do it now.
Yeah.
And even if it's just like reflecting on those questions, that little bit of action can really manifest into something great. So at any given time is the right time to get started.
Yeah, definitely. And I like that you touch on the non-negotiable. I think too, a lot of times.
That's my favorite word.
Yeah, I think that it's important to outline those non-negotiables on a daily basis. Like, do you have like a routine, or like do you have like a morning routine? Like, what is your average day like?
So when I get up in the morning, what I've identified is that I have my peak time where I'm most connected spiritually, where I'm most creative, inspired, motivated. It's kind of between like 4:30 in the morning and 8 a.m. So I wake up at 4:30 every day. I go right into prayer and meditation, and then I may get up and write a blog, an email, schedule sessions for my clients, or whatever work I need to get done where I need to really have brain power and think. And then in the evening times where, I'm not so hot and I don't have as much energy and I'm kind of like, all right, let this day be done.
Yeah.
That's when I like to kind of light a candle and lay back. I drink tea. I just started drinking this it's called tropical hibiscus. Oh my God.
Where'd you get it from?
So good.
Where'd you get that from?
Target.
Really? Okay, we don't.
Tropical hibiscus is so good.
They're actually closing down Target here in Canada. Like, they're all like,
yeah.
So I'll probably have to,
Oh my God. Well, let me know and I will ship you some tea.
Okay.
Is that serious? And so I have my tea and I read a book. My goal is to read 2 to 3 books a month. And I get books from different genres. There's always going to be a business book. There's always going to be something spiritual or life related. And then I read a lot of books just about, parenting, women, things like that. So I do a lot of reading, but that's in the evening for me to unwind. And then in between that, kids, work, all kinds of other stuff goes on.
Yes. And how do you balance all of that though? Because you're a mom of 4.
Well, I don't believe in balance. I tell my clients all the time, they're like, just help me balance my life. And I'm like, I can't help you balance your life, because really in reality, balance means that everything is equal. And everything is not going to ever get an equal amount of your time and attention and energy. But what you can do is prioritize your life.
Yes.
And so like right now, talking to you, being here, being present is a priority for me. So I let my kids know, hey, unless somebody is hurt, bleeding, dying, don't knock on that door, because this is a priority for me.
Yeah.
But when I'm done here, we have movie night scheduled with the kids. And so that's what I'll be doing. And they become my priority.
Yeah.
I'll cut off my phone, shut down and just give them all of my focus and attention. Other times it's my business. I'm working with clients. And so I prioritize my time in my day. That's really important to me. And even my months, I kind of, take a step back and look and see, this month's going to be really heavy. I'm launching a new class or product. This month, the kids are out of school. It's going to be really focused on family time. So I'm really huge on prioritizing. I never got good at balancing, but I've gotten really good at prioritizing and getting things done. So I can help you with prioritizing, but balancing, Google it.
I like that too, because, a lot of women come to me and they're like, Krista, I have all this stuff going on. Like, I'm like, you just got to figure out what works for you and kind of creating. And I think it's important to create a flexible schedule around your life as well. I think when you have such rigid lines in your schedule, that's when you get overwhelmed and frustrated, because
Absolutely.
You don't get everything done all in one time frame, right?
No.
So,
and you start to beat yourself up, and that really kind of ties into the perfectionism. You're trying to be perfect and do everything and get it all done. And I mean, I'm just not trying to stress myself out like that.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
And it doesn't work. Yeah. I'm all about what works for me, and what doesn't work for me, I can't have it.
Yeah, you just throw it out. Figure out what works for you. But Angel, thank you so much for meeting with me
Thank
and
you.
chatting with me and sharing all this valuable insight with the Free from Perfect community. I really
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
so much. This was awesome.
You're,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. So I'll have your links to your social media and your website down below this
Awesome.
conversation on the blog. So thank you so
Perfect.
much.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye.